Okay, so we're gonna do a quick VOD review. I mean, I say quick, but I said quick on the last one. It took an hour. It's probably gonna go a little bit quicker. So I watched. I was watching. I was eating dinner and saw this post on Overwatch University. Watched the first couple team fights just out of curiosity, because this one caught my eye. So I'm just gonna show the post here. So this is from Crade. In-game name is Crade. Posted by Elusive Prowler on Overwatch University. It says so. If they say if you're good enough, you always win and climb. This game, I legit feel like I did way more than everybody else in the game, including the enemy DPS, but I still lost. Honestly, what more could I have done? Was I honestly not putting enough damage or pressure out? It seems like nobody on my team other than myself was putting any damage to the enemy. I'm mid-diamond. Also, I do realize that some of my deaths or mistakes were preventable, but most of them were already after the fight was basically over. So, a couple things I'm going to address in this post real quick before we get started. So first of all, I'm not planning on ego bashing. I'm going to try to keep this really strictly constructive. But a couple things I want to address here. So the very first thing you have here is so they say if you're good enough, you will always win and climb. No. Yes and no. Mostly no. If you are a top 100 player and you're playing in a diamond game, chances are you're going to take over that game and you're going to win, and you're going to carry enough to where it doesn't matter how well your teammates play, right? So if you Crade are a top 100 player, then yes. But inevitably, look, it doesn't matter what rank you are. You go and watch these top 100 players. They're out here doing unranked GM every single week, right? And they're still dropping games. They're still losing games. Some games are just not going to be winnable. And I'm not going to say not winnable, but you're going to lose games. It's just part of Overwatch, right? But the other thing that really stood out to me that I really want to talk about briefly is it seems like nobody on my team other than myself is putting any damage into the enemy. That may be true. That might be true. But if you want to improve, the key is not you have to stop paying attention to your teammates. It's hard to do. It's a hard habit to break, especially when you are sitting there stuck in a particular rank and you're trying to grind. It sucks when you notice your teammates making mistakes, right? But you have to realize that you also make mistakes. And not a single person on God's green earth is going to play perfectly, right? So, it's I've made a lot of posts on Overwatch University about this, about how personally for me, I think the very the most important thing for grinding rank and getting higher in rank is your mental. It's focusing on your own gameplay and ignoring your teammates. And I'm not the only one. It's a pretty commonly repeated thing. Something tells me this post was made shortly after this game was lost out of frustration. And I get it. Trust me. Like, go watch one of my VODs from earlier tonight. And I had some games where I was ranting because it was an upsetting game. Seemed unwinnable, right? Because it is what it is. You're gonna have those games where just everything's off. The team chemistry is not there. People are making mistakes. Your team are dropping fights they shouldn't. Bad ultimates. Goes on. You just have to move on. And as they say, go next. So, without further ado, let me hide this here. So let me get into the game here. So we're gonna watch Crade. He's, I believe he plays Soldier for pretty much this entire game. So I'm not gonna get. How long is this game? It's 18 minutes. I'm not gonna get too in the weeds here because I don't want this to get too long. I'll just start right here. First thing that you could do to improve and start this first team fight better, high ground. Always take high ground. I feel like starting on high ground as Soldier is a critical thing. It's free. You have legs, and you can sprint with those legs. But at the beginning of the match, particularly, you always want to take high ground. It gives you better vantage point, it gives you easier headshots. You have natural cover, especially up here. You have these pillars you can hide behind. If you start taking chip damage, you can back up around the corner. Even if you just back up, right? You back up, you're narrowing the enemy's field of vision on you. It's natural cover. That's why high ground is so important in this game. And it's not, it's something you don't really see people take advantage of. Every once in a while, you'll see good players do it, but even in the lower ranks. But high ground is critical in Overwatch. But anyways, let's get this started. So you're getting some good damage on the Echo. Almost got a pick there. It's good. You got Discord. You backed off. I like it. Still good damage. Kill on the Echo. It's a good kill. Getting the Hanzo. Got a kill on the Hanzo. So okay, so one thing right here. I want to pause right there. What are you shooting at? You're shooting at a full health Zen. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not full health. My bad. He's half health. But you're shooting at the Zarya bubble. It's not the end of the world if you get that pick, but here's the problem: is you slow this down. So you're shooting the bubble. Now, there should only be one reason why you're shooting a bubble. It's to break the bubble in order to get an elimination. Okay, so you're shooting the bubble, and it's the bubble breaks. You have a kill on Zen right there. You keep on shooting him, and he dies. You immediately switch your targets over to Zarya, and why? I don't. There's not a purpose there, right? That's just bad target acquisition, bad target priority. Not a huge deal right now because it looks like you guys are gonna win this fight. Just something to keep in mind. So you get the Diva out of mech. It's good. Okay, you're discorded, you're anti-ed, you're gonna back off, you're gonna recover, stabilize. It's good. So, I know I mentioned it at the beginning, but I'm telling you, you go up here, dude. Just look at the shots you have. It's beautiful. This Zarya is she's gonna be too focused on your Reinhardt, right? She's free headshots. Zarya is easy to track. That's a free kill. Maybe not a kill because she has double supports. You can get a lot of damage and a lot of ult charge off of her. Step back here. You have to be wary of the Hanzo, but let's say you take right here. That Zen is open season. Something to keep in mind. High ground, I'm telling you. This is something honestly, I'm gonna go back to it quite a few times in this VOD. So you got some damage on the Ryan, that's good. I like this visor. This is good. And this is why it's good. Diva's not up. Right? Well they had a Diva, they swapped. So they don't have a Diva anymore. Their tank is way over here. Here's their shield. He's dead. They don't have any tanks. This is open season for you. That's good. I like this visor. It's mostly cleanup. But that's okay. I think your team probably could have won that fight without the visor, but that's okay. You got some really good damage on the Zarya. And this Zarya is incredibly overextended. That's something to look out for. If you see an isolated target who doesn't have support behind him, burn him. Burn him down. That's exactly what you guys did. You get a pick. And all of a sudden they're staggered. Just get some chip damage. Damage. Okay. So you got down Orion. Good Helix. Try to get the turret. Okay. You got the Tor with the Helix. Alright, you're a little bit too far up here. So look at target priority for the enemy, right? So luckily there's only 2 of them, but who are they shooting at? You're the only 2 people that they can see are the 2 squishies on your team. You guys are way ahead of your tank. It's bad positioning. Okay. Luckily you've got a mercy pocket. You back out. You're able to get out. Now I'm not so. What are you dropping your healing pad for, though? You have a mercy pocket, right? Yours already just grabbed, which you may not have known that she was going to grab before you dropped your healing pad, but you want to use your healing pad for certain circumstances, right? You want to use it for an emergency when you're getting dove. You want to use it to sustain an off angle, and you want to use it in the off chance that you need some healing for your team, for you or your team, right? One of your healers goes down and your mercy's left, right? She's low. Drop your healing pad for her. That's all fine. This seems like a waste to me because you have a mercy pocket directly behind you. There's really nobody here. There's no value here. Back up a little bit. Again, you're still shooting Zarya bubbles too. Just need to keep an eye on that because you're feeding her charge and she's going to start eating soon. Okay, so okay. All right. So I think I know what you were going for here. You were going up here for a flank to get an off angle, high angle. Very in the moment. This is a bad visor for you because by the time it triggers, you're at 47 health. It's hard to gauge, so I'm not gonna fault you for this. But right here, you should know that you're about to get pressured by that echo. She's looking at you. She's nanoed. She's gonna drop a bunch of damage on you right away. Your team is down 2. You're not gonna have as much support as you normally would. It's a good attempt though, but ultimately it's just a bad visor. That's okay. I think your team is gonna win this. Looks like it. Okay, so we're coming back. Huge anti. Good helix. Get the damage in. I like that. I like the turn. Okay, so you ignore the echo, let the rest of your team deal with it, and you start putting pressure on their backline. But the Zen starts lining you up, so you back off. Okay. So you got a nano Ryan, you got blown up by the Zen. That's unfortunate. And your nano Ryan just gets diffed, which is unfortunate. So right now, okay. So look at this positioning, okay. Now I see what's happening here. You see red, and you're shooting. And this is something I'm gonna talk about more in a little bit. One, you need to pick your targets. Right now, your target's fine right now. You're shooting Zen. That's a good target. But you need to pay attention to your teammates as well. So right now, look at where your Ryan is. He is completely out of position. Okay. Your Mercy takes a rock. Anna just used nade. You guys are getting pressured out. Your Ryan is low health. You can see him up top. And he's about to get domed. Zarya is completely out of position too. She's isolated. As soon as your Ryan goes down, you guys are losing this fight. You need to start backing out right away. Right now, you need to be leaving. You need to be sprinting out. You need to start getting behind cover. You need to start moving back here. Start moving back here. You're still staying aggressive. You got a kill. It's good. Alright, so you're getting out. There we go. So you got to the rotation. It was just a little bit late. Alright, so you're just shooting the shield. Break it. Okay. Alright, so let let me show you real quick exactly the thing that's going to make the difference in this fight. I'm going to take a guess right now. This visor does nothing. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to guess. Okay, even without the Transcendence. So obviously the Transcendence is going to blow up your visor. There's not much you can do to prevent that, minus a huge anti-nade from your own Ana. But before you pop this visor, you need a good angle. What are you shooting at? You're shooting at shields. You've got a Sigma shield here. You've got a Ryan shield here. Sigma has grasp. Ultimately, Zen has Transcendence, but there's not much you should know this based on if you're tracking his ult. As Soldier, using Tac Visor, that is one of the biggest ults you need to track. Is Zenyatta, because he can completely cancel your ult. Him and Lucio are the two of the biggest ones. I would not take this angle, because what you're doing is you're shooting at the exact same angle that the rest of your whole rest of your team is shooting from here, right? So what that means is that it makes it way easier for the enemy team to mitigate all of that damage. They can shield it, they can grasp it, and their healers can heal up. So what do? Take an off angle. Come over here. Check this out. What would happen if you Tac Visor right here? You get the Torb, you get their Ana, you might get their Echo. It's a huge angle, and it turns the fight. If you sprint up here quickly at the beginning of the fight, you can get at least a 2 kill, I think, with your Tac Visor. You drop your healing pad right here on the corner. You put pressure on them. You start pressuring their backline, because what happens when you pressure their backline like that, their front line collapses. All of a sudden, their Ana has to back up. They've got to come back here. They can't get the angles that they want, right? So they have to play back here, because they cannot pop. They can't peek. That creates a problem for them. They have to back out. If you get picks, even better. Plus, you have your Tracer over here also pressuring them. So during that pressure, that frees up your tanks to start pressuring their front line. By you taking an off angle, it collapses their entire push. Okay, looks like you guys are probably going to lose this one. Okay. Sorry, I was chewing some ice. Y'all don't want to hear that. Okay, so right here, it's not a huge deal, but the little things matter, right? So you turn back up to the corner, so you clearly see their tanks pushing to the left. Now, it could be that they're pushing against the wall and they're about to push the corner that you're on, or they might be pushing through underneath through the house, right? Why do you turn back in here? Like, what's your plan here? Just take a look. Who's here? It's you and Mercy. That's it. That's all you've got. You're playing against an Ana and 2 full health tanks, and mostly full health. You're not. There's not a single scenario. Oh, and an Echo. I didn't even see her. There's not a single scenario where you win this fight, right? You retreat, you regroup, you stabilize, and you continue to get your passive ult charge, right? I realize it's a minor thing, but it adds up collectively. It's the little things that you have to do that's going to improve your game and winning more games. And that's one of them, is staying alive as much as possible. Play to live. It's one of the most important things you can do in this game. And you get caught out. And now your Mercy makes it out. Okay. Taking the stairs. Okay. This is another little important thing. Where's your crosshair right now? Crosshair staring at the ground, right? One, that's not going to do any good. When you're leading around corners, so when you're coming around this corner, you want. I mean, I don't have a reticule in spectator mode, unfortunately, but you want to keep your crosshair about head level and where you think enemies might be, right? So think of it as like SWAT, right? You walk into a room, you have to clear the room. You have to make sure that the room you're entering is safe. So you walk in head level, peek here, nobody's in the doorway, you're good. Nobody's in the window, no, good. Nobody's in that window, good. Underneath, no, good. That doorway, right now, no. When you walk up, there's a tourbillon and a turret over here, and you walk right past them. Somebody came in. I realize you're trying to come up here and get aggressive, but ultimately you're going to take damage you don't need to. I don't think you die here, but as you walk in, you're just cruising. Just cruising. It's not until you hear shots coming your way is when you finally turn. Okay, burn down the turret. Alright, it's good. Take cover. Wait for the nade to wear off. Alright, so now they got a D.Va instead of a Zarya. So this changes a lot, right? So, as a soldier, D.Va is kind of your arch nemesis. Her DM eats up all of your damage, 100% of your damage. You have no way to bypass it as long as she has DM up. So, the biggest thing is when you go to use your ultimate, you need to make sure that D.Va is out of mech. If she's not, she's going to shut you down every single time if she's paying attention. Alright, got good damage on the Sigma. You get pushed by the D.Va. Yep, stay in her face, stay in your healing pad. Your healing pad's out. Alright. Yep, there you go. Exactly. So, it's exactly what I was saying. So D.Va's... I wonder, did you think that D.Va was out of mech here? Because she is super low on health, but she's not out of mech. You might have thought that maybe she didn't have boosters. The angle is good. But that's not one you can sustain, because look at this. Okay. It's an aggressive angle, which is not necessarily bad, but boy. You got a turret, you got a tourbillon, got an Ana, got a Zenyatta, and you got a D.Va. All of them are turning to look at you. You're out in the open. This is not going to end well for you. That's a battle. You have no team support. Your team is not pushing them in any real way, minus the Echo should die here because she's out of position. But your Reinhardt's low. Your Ana's dead. This is just this is a bad hold for your team. So right here, aggressive positioning is great when there's already attention focused elsewhere. But right now, you have, with the turret, 5 different sources of damage looking at you. And of course, D.Va boosts up, shuts down your ult, you get nanoed, and now all of a sudden you have 2 wasted ults. And why? This might have been just mechanical sake, but there's no reason to drop here. None. Especially because you get D.Va out of mech. I like being aggressive, but try to stay on high ground. It looks like that might have just been a mistake, though. It happens. Okay. So you're coming in. So as you're coming into the fight, I recommend every time you come into a fight, hold tab. Just check the screen, see who's dead. So if you hit tab right now, you can look to see that you have 3 down. So right now, D.Va's dead on the other team. So you're looking at a 3v5. Okay? And you're walking into a 3v5 Well, you just kill D.Va, but so it was a 3v6. So you kill D.Va, and this is what you're walking into. You're out in the open. That's bad news, buddy. That's bad news. You be playing behind cover. Yep, there you go. Higher ranks, you burst down really fast. This is a bad one here. So I realize you're trying to get the turret, but really the turret's not important. Because what's the turret realistically shooting? Rhine shield might tag your Cassidy here, but it's hard to say. But there's more important things happening, right? There's about 3 targets between you and the turret that are more important. You always want to try to take down the turret if you have a clear line of sight, but I don't what. You're just standing. You're standing right there. Like you've got to look. You're playing against a Torbjorn and a Zenyatta, right? They just lob shots straight ahead and hope for headshots. You're standing in the same spot. That's gonna be death 10 out of 10 times. Similarly, your Cassidy just got roasted for the exact same reason. He's just ulting out in the open. Really have to play cover smartly. So you get the res. Okay, you got the echo out of clone, or out of copy. That's gonna be death. All right, that's okay. That was it was already gonna be a lost fight. After getting res, there's not much you can do there.
Knock me down and I'll keep getting back up.
It's good damage on the Sig. Yep, you're gonna die to that. That's unfortunate. Okay, one thing that would have prevented this death of the D.Va, but so one thing I haven't harped on much, and I need to harp on more. Again, right here, where are you shooting? Right down Main Street. You're shooting down the same lane that the rest of your team is. You know what's way more effective than this? Dipping out here. You guys over there? Oh, look at that. Both of their supports. Right there. Out in the open. No D.Va to protect them. Or, if you want to go the long way, give yourself some space. Come on here. Look at that. Burn down the Echo. Helix. Quick little burst. She might be dead. You can kind of hold this position around the corner. Boom. Boom. You got cover. You got natural cover here. They would have to go out of the way to push you. Especially if you get the Echo down quickly, because she's the only one that can push you quickly aside from the D.Va. D.Va is too busy dealing with your tanks. Shooting down main behind your team, it'll sometimes work if you can pressure their tanks, but most of the time, yeah, you're a soldier, right? You're incredibly mobile, you're fast. He excels at taking off angles and sustaining them. He has a healing pad. He can sit there by himself over on this side, over here, get lots of damage in behind the enemy shields and behind the enemy defense matrix. You can get a lot of value. All you got to do is run just a little bit. And unfortunately died to the D.Va bomb. It's just unfortunate. I've got a feeling this will be the point.
I don't quit till the fight's done.
So I realize that the reason why you're using this ult right now, I get it. It's crunch time. It's the end. It's the last fight. You guys are down 2, kind of an emergency. This D.Va's coming right for you, man. You're gonna get 0 value out of this ult. You're better off not using it and drawing more attention to yourself and just sustaining standard damage. Because now this D.Va's in your face, eating up everything you're throwing at him. You actually did get some value, but wasn't quite enough. You guys did manage to get the diva down, but you spent pretty much your entire ult just to do that. Okay. So while we're starting for this next round, so this is something I have struggled with on Soldier since day one, and I still struggle with, and I feel like this is something that you do a lot as well, just from watching this game. You see red and you shoot. I think if you play a little bit more patiently with Soldier and a little bit more evasively, I think you'll see a lot of impact on your games. Because a lot of the time, pressure doesn't mean damage. Raw damage means the right damage. You need to pick your targets properly. Like right now, dude. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like what are you shooting at, really? Like let's take this fight slow, right? So right now it's fine. This is the early fight. You're getting some damage in. Okay, you're shooting at the turret. Goes a little bit high. That's fine. All right. So what are you shooting at now? The shield. Okay. You can break the shield, sure. Shoot the turret. That's fine. You're shooting into the grasp. You're just giving Sigma shield. You stop. That's fine. All right. So you got the turret down, which is okay.
Enemy turret destroyed. Payload secured. Move out.
Let me go a little bit faster than this. Okay. So you got some damage on the Sigma. I just want to see something here. When did the diva go top? Right there. So diva used boosters to get up there. She doesn't have micro missiles. You know what you do right here? So Sigma used grasp. Diva used her boosters. She used micro missiles. You guys are down. You need an advantage. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not down. What am I talking about? You guys are up. You're looking to push your advantage. What do? Keep on shooting the tanks? No. You do what your Ashe is doing. You want to know why your Ashe got 2 picks? Because she's taking an off angle. Look at what she's seeing. Okay, let's take this fight again, right? So we're shooting down main. We're hugging the payload. Just chilling. Chilling. Shooting grass, shooting shields, getting some damage on the Sigma. That's fine. That's cool. Okay. Leaning around the corner, still shooting the tanks, shooting the DM, shooting at the grass, shooting the shields. Now, let's take a look at something. Okay. Watch your Ashe. Okay. She's also shooting the turret. That's fine. Turret's down. What does she do? She takes an off angle. Boom. 1 kill. Boom. 2 kills. Now, she went too far, but I'm not reviewing her VOD. That's why she got 2 kills and opens up this fight for your team, because she took an off angle. Everybody's focused at your tanks. You taking an off angle does multiple things. 1, you get damage in. 2, you can get a pick. 3, it pulls pressure from your front line. That does a multitude of things. It gets the enemy to look the other way towards you. Once they start looking, then you back off, right? And you take another angle. Or you drop your healing pad, depending on how much pressure you're getting, and you can sustain it. By you taking an off angle, the enemy front line has to turn and deal with you. If they don't, their back line is going to get killed. And that's going to turn the fight, which is exactly what happens here. Now, it's kind of what I talked about on the first point on defense too, when you use your tech visor. I was talking about coming over in this little door right here, right? Come over here, you put pressure on their back line, and all of a sudden, their whole team collapses back because they can't. Their healers, the supports, can no longer sustain their position. They have to fall back, which means their tanks are going to start taking more damage because their supports are too busy surviving, which means their tanks have to fall back. Your team gets space, your team stabilizes, and continues the push. Now that you got a couple picks, you push your advantage, you get more kills, you take the point. That's the basics of how the game is going to work, right? The more you take off angles, the more team fights you're going to win. It's all about being smart about it and limiting the amount of pressure you take on it, though. Okay. Alright, once again, here we go with another questionable attack visor. What are the things that are going to stop you? So your diva is now out of mech, which means you have that much less mitigation up front. They have a full health Sigma. Their diva is admittedly very low, but theoretically, but she's also right in front of her support. Okay. You have a shield, you have a grasp, you have DM. What are you shooting at? And they have natural cover because they can just crest this hill. Boom. That's all they got to do. It's like, oh no, he's glowing blue. Just drop down. That's it. Drop around this corner. That's it. It's just if you're gonna use a tactical visor, it can be used as a zoning tool like this, but you're not getting any benefit from it because what are you actually accomplishing here? You're not really putting any pressure on their team because what do? They just drop behind cover. This wall right here where their Ana is, this is an infinite health shield, right? So like, you're not going to break this shield. You could break the Sigma shield. You're not going to break the hard cover. You're not going to get any advantage of here. This Sigma can just back off. You can just back up. You can use grasp. You can use shield. Diva is already backed off. She's already half health. It's you're not getting any value from ulting directly in front of their entire team. Again, that's both attack visor and a nano wasted. So you're getting good pressure on the tanks, which is good. All right, let me see if there's an opportunity here. So right here, I think is a perfect opportunity, right? So you're sitting here shooting down main, as you do. You know, it's super, super effective. If you're able to peel around here, look at this. Look at this angle. This is huge, dude. Helix this Ana, she is immediately dead. You start getting an off angle here. You get a kill. You get 2 kills maybe. The Torp turret can't see you. Torp is short as hell. He can't shoot you. He can't shoot you over this little wall. Zenyatta doesn't want to really peek you because he's squishy as hell, and now all of a sudden you have a good angle on their team. You can drop your healing pad over here, either on the corner, and you just duck between. If you start taking damage, you duck, boom, shoot, duck, shoot, duck. If you get a kill on the Ana and the Echo, push up here, boom, you're pressuring the tanks now. Take out the Sigma, take out the Diva. If you still have your healing pad, you drop it here. But guess what? You also have a Mega. Now all of a sudden you're controlling this entire side of the map, the entire back side of the enemy team by yourself. Taking off angles will change your game, dude. I promise you. You have good aim. This can change your game. Promise. Okay, real quick, another one. What happens if you go over here? You get behind the Sigma shield. You get behind his grasp. Watch this. See the Ana peeking? That purple Ana right here? It's low health already. Off angles, dude. Okay. Oh, for sure, got our copy just in time. All right, they push Q, unfortunately. Nope, 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 nope. What just happened? You see that Zen right there? That Zen is going to cancel every single bit of ult you're about to use. You should never, ever, ever be using Tac Visor when Transcendence is up. That is just rule number 1 for Tac Visor. Rule number 2 is don't use it when Lucio has beat. It's a bad ult. I can't be doing it. No, what? So, all right. So this right here, this little maneuver, it's gonna get you killed. It's gonna get you killed, man. Especially as you start climbing to the masters. Right here, dude. I don't. Ooh, okay. Again, this is I realize I've harped on this hard, but this is probably one of the biggest issues I've seen so far. What are you shooting at? Right? It doesn't matter how much raw damage you put out. Metals don't matter in Overwatch. What matters is who you're applying that damage to. Right now, you're shooting at a full health team, and you are literally looking at their entire team right now. Their whole ass team is looking where? At the single target that they can see, which is you. This Torb, this Zen, they are going to light you up, dude. Cannot be peeking that so hard. You are out in the open. You are exposed. You are lucky you don't get picked off here. You have a Mercy Pocket. She could res you, but that's also a waste of a 20-second cooldown. And you used your healing pad here, and for what? Right? To sustain your angle, which is what your biggest purpose would be, but your angle is directly down main shooting at a shield. That is a waste of your cooldown. It's a 14-second cooldown that you cannot use now. All right, let me show you another quick angle, right? No, just kidding, not that one. Go up top, high ground. Look at that beautiful shot at that Ana. See that? You shoot her from downtown. Got a clear shot on the Zen. Now, the only thing that you really have to worry about here is the Sigma. If the Sigma starts tagging you, you might have a problem. Now, if you have your healing pad up, which unfortunately you don't because you just used it, you just wasted it. But if you had your healing pad up, you drop it up here, you can sustain your angle, pressure them. You can pressure any one of their 3 squishies here, which would be Zenyatta, Ana, Torbjorn, right? Torbjorn turrets still all the way back here. So you're not getting targeted. You've also got the Echo back here. She's kind of buried in the rest of their team. Now your tanks are pushing down there, which means that they've got that angle covered, right? You need to take a different angle. This is a good angle. This is a good angle. Go up here. This is an even better angle. Continue to rotate. Right? Got to start looking at the map from like an overhead view, right? Now, like when you come out of spawn for the first time at the beginning of the game, there's always a line that takes you down Main Street to where the objective is supposed to go. As a soldier, your job for the next, I'm going to task you with something to do, right? For the next 10 games. What I want you to do every single game for the next 10 games, I want you to start out each fight by not going down Main Street. I want you to go a different route. You can open up with your team walking down main, that's fine. But as soon as the fight starts breaking, I want you to take an off angle. I want you to go somewhere else. At this point, doesn't matter where it is, but you need to break the habit of going down main and shooting down main with your team. You start doing that, I promise you start winning more team fights. You start getting more kills. You start winning more games. I swear to God. That was unfortunate. Also, that's a lot to do with being out in the open. Okay. Got to pick on the Zen. That's good. So, again, 14-second cooldown, dude. So you got to pick on the Zen. Why do you drop your healing pad? Now, some of your team is low, yes, but you don't know that because they're all behind you, and you haven't looked behind you in ever. I don't think once in this game. So your supports are low. You're full health. I mean, I guess you're going to be anticipating damage here, so you're going to sustain, but you're sustaining an angle in front of their tanks. It's not a good use of your cooldown. Okay, got a couple picks, got the turret. Burn down. Nice. And I think your team is going to win this fight. Don't you do it. Nope. It's a waste. It's an absolute waste. Okay. I'm not trying to roast you here, but I haven't seen a single good ultimate from you so far.
Come here and get stabilized.
Hang on. Let's back up at this fight. Let's count just the people that you killed. Because you killed a lot of people in this fight. You did a good job in this fight. I don't like your positioning. I don't like your ability usage on the healing pad. But your aim is good. It is carrying you through fights. It is getting you picks, right? So you're leveraging that, and you're still making the most of it. So you already picked off the Zen, so that's one. Okay? Granted, he comes back by the end of the fight. But get the Echo. That's two. Okay. Sigma, dead. So right now the fight's a 3v6. Okay? 3v6, you're going to win this fight and you're going to win the point. There's 45 seconds left on the clock. Zen ults in, which means it's back to a 4v6. Supercharger just got dropped. There's no reason for this. You guys were winning this fight regardless. So now that was three ults. So I realized you can't control your teammates, but that's Tech Visor, that's Nano Boost, and that's Supercharger, all which were not needed. You guys were going to win that point regardless. Just because you get kills doesn't mean it was a perfect play. Yep, get damage, good pressure, and you back off. You back off. Yep. See, it's exactly what. So you got real thirsty for this kill, and I get it. I do this all the time. He's 1 health, but his shield is up. All of his teammates are coming back. You need to back off right here. Immediately, you turn tail, you hug this wall, you rotate back, you get cover. Okay. Instead, what you do is you step out into the open because you want that extra shot. Sometimes it's better to give up the kill, especially when you're about to approach the next team fight. So that first fight was already over. It would have been great to stagger that Sigma, but if you can't do it without putting yourself, you can't put yourself at risk, especially on a fight like this where it's already been a pretty tightly fought for the first point, right? Your team is already pushing up for space. Now, look at where your team is, right? So payload is all the way back here. You guys still have a long ways to go. So realistically, the next spot where the next team fight is going to take place on this corner, right? So it's just, you have to kind of map out where the objective is and where it's going to be by the time the enemy team spawns. So by the time they spawn, you're probably going to be fighting right here. So pushing up past this point to try to secure a kill when the rest of the enemy team is coming back is just too greedy. And unfortunately, since the rest of your team is getting pushed, looks like your Ashe might go. No, she survived. Okay. Your team might recover on this, but nope, Mercy died. And that's probably the fight. Too aggressive. Okay, you're no, pushing up past your tanks. You're gonna get pressure, but again, terrible positioning. And you might die to this D.Va bomb. Nope. Okay, that's just unlucky. However, once again, I want you to look to see like what's your plan here? What is your plan with attack visor? You drop your healing pad and you pop it with a shield in your face. Getting remac'd on is super unlucky. Kind of funny, but unlucky. Alright, so you need to play behind cover here. Okay, good. Don't get greedy on the Zen. Playing out in the open. Yep, like again. Just so this Zen Yada. Yeah, just got lit up, man. You're playing out in the open just a little bit too much, and you're playing ahead of your tanks. I might back up here. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I figured happened. Okay. Okay. That Echo was shooting at you, right? She was shooting at you and your team. You are the fast mobile hit scan character. It is your job to take care of that Echo. That Echo is going on a hard flank. She probably has copy up because you haven't seen her copy anybody for a while. You need to go down and chase her ass down. You need to just sprint after her and you need to kill her. She's already used her stickies. That cooldown is off. You sprint around this corner. You can catch her coming up this stairwell. Or wherever she's going. Yeah. Dude, yeah, you look at this. Like, if you come sprinting around this corner to come take her out. So she initially tries to go up the stair, right? D.Va already saw it. D.Va sees what's up. She sees her poking. D.Va goes top immediately. Pushes her out. And now all of a sudden this Echo's out of position. Right? So she's got her ult. So she has a plan. If you came after this Echo, that's a free kill, my friend. That is absolutely a free kill. D.Va would see you coming around the corner and she would help out. All of a sudden it turns this team fight into a 6v5. Instead, what happens is while you're shooting shields, Echo comes up behind and one taps your Ana. Copies D.Va, shuts down all of your damage, but doesn't get much out of it. Luckily. She does get, she gets her mercy. You can't just, like you're one of the most consistently fast heroes in the game. Part of your job is to handle flankers. Again, I don't need to harp on it anymore. Let me just make a recommendation here. So you have Tech Visor up, right? So your team is starting to push up. So instead of pushing it here, which you're really not getting a whole lot of value here, really it's the Bob that's pushing the enemy team back. What you do is you come up here. Oh, look at that. It's another free kill on the Echo, right? So you push the Echo. Either she flies up and out or back in here. You come up here, you get a free kill on the Echo, possibly. As soon as you peek this, you see the Hanzo, which at this range, dicey taking on this duel. You're probably going to want to get up here before you start taking shots at him. But all of a sudden, if you're able to get out, push the Hanzo out, or even just poke out here, come around to the window, you've got a great angle. That's the angle that you want to use your tac visor on, to get a quick kill on their backline. 1 or 2 kills is all you need. You don't need a 6k with it. Okay, looks like your team is going to win this, possibly. Yep. Okay. They are retreating. You are ahead of your team. Alright, they got respawns. You back out. Right here, you back out. It's a good kill, but bad positioning. So you unintentionally took an off angle here because of the Diva Bomb. But this is actually legitimately a good angle. So you're able to pressure the Ana and Hanzo. Unfortunately, damn, you got lit. You must have got tagged by the Hanzo. Unlucky. Okay. Team caps point. So continues the game. Alright, ideal spot for Soldier. Right here. Up top. You start getting pushed out. Rotate here. You can get an angle on that window. If it's free, rotate up. Get this window. If it continues to be free, you can rotate this way. Or, go through the house here. Come up through here. Right? Off angles. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. Oh no. Alright, at least you got the kill on the ulti Sigma. It wasn't you actually got some value out of it. Okay. So right now, your team is in dire straits. Because your Ana's down, your Mercy's busy rezzing, half your team is low. So alright, so right here, you're 80 health. There's no reason to be pushing out here. So first of all, let me slow this down a little bit. I'm gonna get a little bit in the weeds on this. I want you to kind of think about something here. So who's shooting at you right now? Nobody. There's spam coming through the door, but there's nobody specifically targeting you, right? You start taking chip damage. You start taking spam, right? And for what? To get the Diva out of mech? I mean, that's good. But now, look at your positioning. If you really wanted to do this, there was no reason to move forward here. You stay behind this door. Right here. So right, you continue to hold this angle. Watch this. You're still shooting from where the camera's at. Still shooting. You can still hit her. Still shooting. Rotate. She's out of mech. You're still in cover. Look at that. So instead of dying and taking spam damage, you're still behind cover here. This Echo is about to come across straight in front of this field of vision. That's a free kill. Your Mercy's rezzing. Now all of a sudden you got both supports up. You get topped off. Come over here. Boom. Off angle. You win this team fight. By yourself. The name of your thread was, what more could I realistically have done? That's it. Right there. That's what could have won you the game. All right. Play behind cover more. Maybe not win you the game. Would have tied it up.
The war goes on.
But I digress. We'll see how this goes. Oh no, they have two divas. It's no good. Alright. Good dodging. Yeah. So unfortunately just took a Hanzo arrow. So this last team fight, it's very chaotic. So this one's a little bit, it's hard to really go hard here. Your Ashe kind of has the right idea. Peeling over here. You get some clean shot to their backline. But again, off angle to the left. But if you're going to continue to shoot down main, you do it from right here. Right here. I don't mind you putting your healing down here because there's a lot of spam. There's a lot going on. This last fight is very chaotic. I get it. But you really gotta play behind cover. Start playing behind cover. You die a lot less. It's gonna do a lot for your game. Before you just catch an arrow to the head. Okay, get rezzed. It's gonna be a close finish. Yep, it's a good dodge. Yep, that's gonna be game. Or is it? Yep, it's gonna be game. Okay, so I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm not I'm not out here trying to bash people's egos. I think your aim is fantastic. I think your aim is really good. Your tracking is solid. Your Helix rock is actually really good. That is one thing that you succeed at really, really well. And because you have that mechanical skill, I think you can definitely climb. I would say that obviously if you've been listening to some of my comments, I think the things that you can improve on, the biggest one is going to be your positioning. You need to start thinking a little bit outside the box. You need to look at the map as a whole. And I don't necessarily know the best way to go about doing that. A10, who's has been a top 10 player multiple seasons. He has an unranked GM series, multiple heroes. He always starts off with a slideshow where he talks about creating a mental map, right? Of looking at the maps from like an overhead perspective and being able to view. There's always, from point to point, there are multiple lanes that you can take. There's always the main street, the main lane, and that's what he calls defaulting, right? So you're taking the default route. There's always at least two other lanes that usually left and right. And as soldier, the way that you succeed is by taking these alternate routes, getting behind the enemy team, taking off angles, and putting pressure on their backline without having to get through their shields first. It creates immediate pressure. It causes their backline to fall back, which in turn will make their front line fall back. It is like clockwork. It will work every single time. Obviously, as you start getting pressured out, you have to kind of manage the amount of pressure you take, particularly with your penchant for standing out in the open. That's going to come out to bite you in the ass, and you're going to die on the flank a lot. But you need to drill it into your head of doing it more consistently. I would say take the next 10 games, and like I think I mentioned this earlier, but take the next 10 games, and every single team fight, especially at the beginning of the game, go a different route. Don't be with your team. Just take it. Just doesn't matter which way you go. Just take a different route and see what happens. You definitely want to play behind cover more and be less reliant on your healing pad. And obviously, I mentioned it a couple times, but your healing pad usage could be better. You want to use it for very specific situations. You want to use it to sustain an off angle. So taking those other routes, like I'm talking about, you having a healing pad lets you stay there and continue to apply pressure until your healing pad's gone, or if they push you out. And at that point, you sprint out, get back to your team, heal up, go take a different angle. It's almost cyclical with Soldier, much like any other flanker, right? Like Tracer, Doomfist, um, Genji, Reaper, right? You have to play around your cooldowns, and Soldier's no different. Yeah, your healing pad is a very powerful tool, and you're using it very whimsically. Um, I don't think you're really putting thought into why you're using it. And it's like as soon as you stop hitting E every time you just want to shoot for a long time and start thinking about the reason why you would need that healing, I think that's going to help you out a lot. Um, and ult usage, I, I talked about it a lot, but just you really need to work on your ult usage. I think if you start taking those off angles, that's going to help. Um, I think your ult usage is just naturally going to be more effective, and you're going to get more value out of them, just because you're already going to be behind that enemy front line. And the beautiful thing is taking those off angles, and this is one thing I didn't really touch on this in the video, unfortunately. I think there were more important things to talk about, but it's going to be timing. So when you're taking those off angles, one thing you kind of need to develop is the ability to read where your team is and when they're pushing in, and timing your engagement on that off angle at the proper time. Because if you peek and start shooting too early, so you have a tendency to shoot as soon as you see red. If you play a little bit more patiently, take your time, gauge your shots, and actually decide, make a conscious decision of who you're about to attack, and whether or not you're free to do so. If you go and peek too early, their off tank, like a diva, for example, could push you immediately, and all of a sudden your off angle is done. You're out of that fight until you get back to your team. Um, so the timing is very important. But I think that kind of sums it up. But I think obviously I think you're a really good player. Your aim is fantastic. I think your target selection is good. Um, minus your need to shoot through shields first, because I'm really trying to drill in, get around the shields first. As soon as you start doing that, you already have that natural target selection. You're going to start burning down their supports and squishies so fast. It's going to be unbelievable. You're going to turn fights so quickly. You're going to start winning so many more games. I promise. Um, I think just really, really take some time and focus on that. If you're worried about losing games because you're not used to taking those off angles and holding flanks by yourself, and you're not sure how to gauge the pressure and when to back off, just jump into quick play. Try that a little bit. Obviously, you're probably gonna pub some in quick play, but it can help you get used to it. But ultimately, you might lose some games as you're getting used to it. But that is the play style that you really want to do with Soldier. He's uh, he's mobile for a reason. He's got the sprint button. It's not there just to get back from spawn quicker. It is to get you around the battlefield fast, be able to get to different angles, be able to pressure the enemy from multiple locations. It makes him one of the most versatile DPS heroes in the game. And I think if you keep up on it, you'll climb with him for sure. But anyways, I hope this was helpful, and good luck in your games, man. I think you're really a good player. Keep it up, and yeah. Well, good luck, man. Thanks.